One of the most anticipated cultural events of the year is coming up here at Central Library. It's the 26th annual Meet the Artist exhibit, and Gala Reception begins on January 29th and continues through March 22nd. With us are the longtime curator of Meet the Artists, Tony Radford, and a new artist participating in this year's event, Samuel E. Vasquez. And we'll talk with Samuel in just a moment, but first, Tony. 26 years in running. Tell us what Meet the Artist is all about.
Well, Meet the Artist is about showing different artists. It's mainly artists that are not on the gallery scene, but we featured everybody from Susie Homemaker to internationally known artists in the 25 years that we've been doing Meet the Artist.
Mm-hmm. Now, what will people see when they come to Central Library? The artwork scattered throughout the building, correct?
They'll get hit when they come through the front doors, and in the atrium on up to the 5th floor with a variety of art, paintings, drawings, sculpture, graffiti, jewelry. So it's just a combination of different genres of artwork.
I mentioned this is now the 26th annual, and you've been involved in all of these.
All 26.
What has made Meet the Artist so successful, and why has it been able to grow to its stature that it enjoys today?
Well, one is we're featuring, like I say, local artists that normally don't get the opportunity to show, and the library has been a great showcase for their works. And it just grew from, what I thought was going to be a one-shot deal to 26 years later. Last year we celebrated our 25th anniversary, and it's become more of, a family event. It's something for everybody, so it's just a family outing of African-American culture, and we want to invite everybody to come out and participate and enjoy the evening.
Okay. And we'll talk about the very popular Gala Reception, which will take place on February 8th. But let's meet one of the participating artists this year, Samuel E. Vasquez. Samuel, thank you for joining us and being part of Meet the Artist this year. Tell us about the types of works that you will produce.
The types of works that I will have at the this year's show, which every exhibit that I show is new work. So people will get the opportunity to see new pieces that I will create for this show. And type of work that I do is based on graffiti art. Growing up in New York, doing subway trains in the 80s and tagging the city as a young person. Now I've transferred that into abstract paintings using the colors, motion, movement, rhythm of the artwork itself. So it's graffiti in a different level.
Interesting.
Grown in an evolution state. And also it allows me to use different mediums and different tools as far as brushes, with graffiti being spray paint. Now I still use spray paints, but I'm incorporating brushes, markers, pencils, and different textures in my work.
Tell us a little bit about the history of graffiti art. Has it become more mainstream, and what about here in Indianapolis?
I think, if anything, it's got more accepted in different circles. It's become, it's been supported by corporate as far as some of the companies that are creating tools specific for graffiti art, where when it first started, we had to create our own tools as far as markers and utilize the what was available to us at the time. So now it's more specialized. Now it's more defined.
Okay.
I guess, and it's being looked at more as a profession, in a sense, where you have actual festivals for it, and people go out and paint, like the event that goes here every year in Indianapolis, Subsurface. So those are things that are happening now with graffiti. But back then it was underground and in a very tight community.
Right. That seems to have been the image from which it sprang.
Yes. It was birthed from a difficult time in New York City at the time, with the fiscal crisis and everything that was going on at the city.
Right.
A lot of my work shows that energy, almost like decay, but there's beauty in it. I show color, and to us it was a way to bring color to an environment that seemed depressing at the time. So we didn't have access to museums or to a place like this, so we were creating our own artwork and sharing it with the city.
Interesting. What does it mean to you as a local artist to be able to participate in an event of this magnitude and really get this kind of exposure? Because this has become a very big event in the city.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I've always looked into, places that art is not necessarily known to be shown, and actually exposing it to a different audience. We know about galleries and museums, but to have it in a different space, it really speaks of where art can be seen and experienced. And that's always I always look for those types of opportunities. So when Anthony invited me to participate, I was excited about it and elated. And I've heard about it past years and decided to be here for the first time.
And what a great venue here at Central Library.
It is, especially with the new building.
Yes.
And it's a great venue.
Well, thank you again for joining us for this year's Meet the Artist. Let's talk to Tony again about the big event coming up on February 8th, Saturday evening from 5:45 to 10. It's the very popular Gala Reception. Tell us what happens during the Gala, Tony.
Well, the Gala will have 18 very talented artists that you can mix and mingle with and check out their works. We'll have 6 authors. We have performing artists. We'll start out with Dante West and Authority, which is a gospel group. We have 2 talented poets, Matt Davis and January York. We have a comedian that we're bringing from Chicago.
A comedian?
A comedian.
That's different.
Lady Lunchable.
Okay.
And she's done HBO specials and everything. We also have Cynthia Lane, who is our musical guest this year. And Cynthia's just been inducted in the Indiana Hall of Fame of Jazz. So that's great. And then we will wrap the show up with the unique fashion show coordinated by Nikki Blaine. It's called Fashion Awareness. And it's 9 designers, and each designer will do a theme on breast cancer or domestic violence, and they'll pick a color, and that will be what they represent for that cause.
Well, that's an event in and of itself. Not only the exhibit from January 29th through March 22nd, but the Gala Reception, which is free and open to the public, again on February 8th, Saturday evening from 5:45 to 10 p.m. Anthony and Samuel, thank you. Best of luck with this year's exhibit and gala. You can learn more, of course, on the library's website at ndpl.org.